Welcome back to another episode of Wifey Wednesday. Today you're joining me in my office because this week's been a little hectic. Today on Wifey Wednesday, we're going to go over my journey through Flesh and Blood, and I decided to start with the lore book to understand the heroes, where they came from, and how this world works. So what I want to start with is about roughly the first 9 pages of the lore book. I know the first 1 through 4, I believe, have to do with introductory pages and the table of contents, and then from there on, we're talking about the world of Wraith as a whole. In Flesh and Blood, the world is divided up into different areas. As we can see on the map, we have Solana, Savage Lands, Metrics, Demonastery, Aria, Mysteria, the Pits, and Volcor. I spent some time yesterday digging into the background of a lot of the heroes to try and figure out the ones that weren't so obvious, where they were from. When it comes to Solana, it's very easy. I'm sorry if I pronounce any of these wrong. It's very easy to know basically who comes from there. You have Shiana. I've never got to see a card of her in person, but I hope to soon. Then you have Prism, Dorinthia, and Bolton, who is not from there, but ended up staying there and settling there in the end. He's from the Northern Kingdoms. Then you have the Savage Lands, which is home to Rhinar and Ko. Then you have the Metrics, which is Dash and Datadal. Below the Metrics is the Pits, and that's where Cavden and Azalea are currently located. Then you have the Demonastery, which is where Viserai and Chain are from. The big location that I find very interesting is to be Aria. There's a lot of our heroes that are from Aria, and some of them who happen to appear there. The heroes for Aria are Balda, she's in the carnival, Lexi, Guinness, Briar, Bravo, Yorick, and interestingly enough, Oldham and Icelander. I have a few questions about Oldham though. As I found, he's not actually from Aria. He's from a place away from there, and he wandered into Aria. And it appears that Icelander may have come from the same location. You have Mysteria with Katsu, Ira, and Benji. And then we round out with Volcor for Kasai, Kano, Phi, and Dromai. So the one hero that was left out was Levia. I found it interesting when reading her background that it says she was from, just like Bolton, the Northern Kingdoms. But the stark difference was Levia never left the Northern Kingdoms. She ended up becoming basically a victim of the Northern Kingdoms, whereas Bolton got out as fast as he could and never looked back. And we see the stark difference between the two characters. When we talk about Oldham, they're talking about ancient ones. They're talking about the Olin. I believe I said that right. And there's a lot talking about what happened before all of this was created years and years and years ago. So it's interesting to talk about the fact that Oldham's life and his story isn't even complete yet. It says to be continued. So does that mean that in our next release come November, Dynasty might be more than just dragons? Might it be talking about the dynasty of our ancient ones? The ones who came before? With the release of Dynasty on the horizon, we also have to look at the fact that we will be getting new professions in our heroes. And right now, we have 4 professions that are not accounted for. Necromancy, Alchemist, Assassin, and Cleric. I personally think we're at least going to get a Necromancer, but I would be really excited to see what they could do with an Alchemist. With LSS deciding that the release date of Dynasty is going to be in November of 2022, does that mean that we're going to see a correlation between Worlds that's coming in California and the release of Dynasty at the same time? I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. So this was just part 1 of Wifey Wednesday going through the lore book and learning and exploring. And trust me, I've been talking my husband's ear off about it, saying, hey, did you see this? Or hey, have you read this? Or hey, did you know this? So I can't wait to see what we're going to do next. I believe our next video is going to be on Solana. So join us next time for Wifey Wednesday and let's see what we can learn.